Welcome back to the week thus far. John is feeling real jacked up right now.
Super jacked. I'm happy we're friends again.
That's good, yeah. And you know what that means? It's time to bring out our guest.
Good.
Our guest this evening is a... Time?
Oh,
all right.
moving the mic.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ryan.
Sorry.
Our first guest this evening is a longtime host on Virgin Radio. He's also a philanthropist and a very busy man. Give it up for Ace Burpee.
Woo! Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Warmed it for you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Well,
John
that's
makes a
deep.
lot of heat.
Hey, you do. You are very warm.
Especially from my bottom.
It's a hereditary thing, I think.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
His mom was known for her warmth. Now, Ace,
Yes.
thank you for being here today.
Listen, I watch the show. You know I do, and I've told you that, and I wasn't lying. And so I really like it.
Good, yeah. Right out the gates. That's
Yeah.
good.
Not a lot.
No, I like it, and so I'm happy to be here. So
Good.
thank you.
Now, you've been the host of the morning show on
Yeah.
Virgin Radio, also the other stations that radio changes so often. How long have you been doing that for now?
11 years.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Usually have
been
to-
wonderful.
Don't you have to wake up at like 5 in the morning, 4 in the
No,
morning?
3:47 to
Oh.
be exact.
For 11 years?
Yeah.
How many snoozes do you hit? Like,
No, I just get up.
it's crazy.
Yeah, there's no way out of it. I just go.
How's your schedule? Like, are you just tired all the time? How do you deal with that?
No, I'm just gonna die around. What am I now? 40. So in a few years. So yeah, maybe we'll do a special show for that. But yeah, it shouldn't be long. Which honestly would be great news for a lot of people.
Whoa!
So,
Why
yeah,
do you say that?
It's win-win. I know what people think of it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now, Ace. Oh, wow, that's
The
interesting.
Queen likes you, though. You have a medal from the Queen.
Yeah, I do.
So,
That's a legit, actual story.
how did you get that?
Just for like community service, and I guess for just showing up at enough, you get a Queen's Jubilee medal. I'm assuming, honestly, that's the
Wow.
you show up at enough things, and
You don't
and
hit
you get one.
You don't hit the snooze button, and you get a medal from the Queen.
Well, get to work.
You got to try
Yeah.
that, John.
Just be nice to a few people, and you get a Queen's Jubilee medal. Which, quite honestly, like I'm unabashedly like I am English, and my mom's from England, and I cheer for England wholeheartedly in soccer. And so to get anything associated with the Queen, I know people that she's a polarizing thing, but I liked it. That was good.
So
Felt good.
that would mean you're English, right?
Yeah.
You have excellent teeth for an English person. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's weird, because I got like sort of beav-esque things.
Oh, man, you know, those aren't that bad.
I've got
Mine-
some beaver in me.
I
Let's
still
just
got-
say that.
I still got the ridges from when I was a child and my teeth came in. So I'd kill for a set like that.
Well, that's great. This is
You'll be
Yeah.
dead soon, right?
Maybe we can work something out.
already a good show.
What was it like meeting the Queen?
Good. I mean,
Like, what's she like?
I think exactly what you think she'd be like. Like she's a bit reserved, being 141, or well, I don't know. I mean, she's understated, but I mean, I've met a lot of famous people, so none of that sort of. It all just sort of rolls into one. The only ones I get nervous around are people that cause I mean, honestly, I've met obviously tons of famous people, but the ones that you meet, but you loved them when you were coming of age. Those,
Yeah.
like a Doug Gilmour I used to be obsessed with when I was younger, and then meeting Doug Gilmour and I got nothing, right? But then, you know, I met Brad Pitt and lots of famous people, and it's fine. But it's those ones that, it's when you meet someone that you
Idolized?
idolized when you were of a certain age. That those.
So
are,
who was like the biggest? Was it Doug Gilmour? Was he the biggest celebrity, or was there someone else?
I
That,
once walked into a room. Well, actually, I'll give you this story, and I've told this before. But the craziest elevator ride in the history of elevator rides was at the Royal York in Toronto, and I was there doing some business, and I went up the elevator with Jean Chrétien, and we stopped. I remember it was the 8th floor in the Royal York. He got out, Jay-Z got in. And keep in mind, like from my perspective, like I'm from Cooks Creek, Manitoba. Like it's a tiny little town. Like I don't know anybody.
Right.
Like literally, I come from nothing and I know nobody. And I'm like, man, who do I even tell this to? Like, where do I go with this?
Yeah.
Like this is so hilarious.
I'd love it if they were
awesome.
like if they were sharing a room together.
We don't know. We don't know. You know what?
Jean-Z.
You know what? Jean-Z. Jean-Z. And roll credits.
Did they do like a little hand slap as they walked by each other or
They-
anything?
Those kind of people don't know each other.
That makes sense.
I
Yeah,
don't think.
that was right. Yeah.
One at the time was the most powerful man in Canada. The other was the most powerful man in the USA. But in different circles.
Jay-Z also had Big Pimpin', personal favorite of mine.
That's one of the greatest songs I'd say ever written.
Ever. Yeah. And can you imagine if Jean Chrétien was like the hype man in that video?
No.
Just pouring champagne out of it.
No.
We are on this yacht. So, how about that Gian Gameshi?
Yeah, what's...
Yeah, that went south in a hurry.
Yeah. We had a plan though, so don't worry.
But do you want a story?
That's what I heard there was a story.
Well, I have a story about almost anything in the world, or everything in the world.
Good.
But I have this buddy, and so again, I'm from like rural Manitoba, right? So I got some buddies that are, I don't want to say they're similar to Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. They're more exactly like Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys.
They have great
So,
hair. You mean.
yeah, so I see one at hockey the other night, and I still play hockey with all these guys. And I'm like, oh, you're not going to believe it. And maybe some of you won't get why it's ridiculous, but it'll sink in and you'll feel it and you'll love it. And I'm like, that was crazy about that Gian Gameshi. He's like, what? I'm like, oh, he did some really bad things, and I explained it. And he's like, ah, oh, I love that guy that eats all the hot dogs. I'm like, no. This guy, he had like a big, like sort of radio show on CBC. He's like, Kobayashi had a radio show? And I'm like, no. Dude, we're not on the same page with this story. So, to be clear, Kobayashi, the guy you're thinking of, that eats the hot dog super fast, did nothing wrong ever. Okay, cool.
I feel
It's
like
over.
I feel like radio would be a great medium for Kobayashi. For the next hour, I will eat hot dogs.
Trust me, this guy beside me is eating hot dogs super fast.
You just hear like that.
What was that move again? Yeah.
Hot dog.
Do your impression of him eating hot dogs
Every
again.
time I go to a hockey game, I'm like, ah.
You are?
I love hot
He's a
dogs.
big hockey fan, yeah.
That's so crazy.
Big hot dogs.
Parts of hockey, yeah.
Get those hot dogs around there. Anyway, Ace, we're running low on time.
Oh no.
As it stands.
What did I do?
Nothing, sir. You have some excellent facial hair.
Yeah,
So
it's
maybe
dumb.
that's something you did.
I'm one of those guys that has to shave during Movember. Like if I'm good at anything, it's growing facial hair. Great, that'll get me far.
I'm one of those guys who before Movember, if I do shave, I will never participate.
'Cause you're out?
It just does not grow. So like I gotta plan it out like 2 or 3 months in advance. Get a little sort of, that grade 9 or 10.
That's what you want to do. Cheat at charity events.
That's the only way it's going to work.
He knows about charity events.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, for the record, I know
Get
we're
you
out
a
of time.
Queen's Jubilee medal.
You do a lot of work for charities in town. Do you want to maybe shout out a couple of them? I don't know.
You know what? The ones, if I'm here, then the ones I try the hardest for are those ones that sort of fly under the radar, right? Where you raise $500 for them, and it's like $1 million to some of the big organizations, and those would be Mood Disorders Association. I love them.
Yeah, actually, you did a great show with them.
Yeah, I know. Some of you did a show for them, and that was very kind. And then for a long time, my mother has worked at the Manitoba Schizophrenia Society, and they have. I mean, it's a tough goal for a lot of them, and they work really, really hard. And so, anything you can do, if you ever like, man, I have some dollars to spare for something, one of those two would be much appreciated.
Very cool. Ace Burpee, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Yeah. We'll be right back with Cypher DX.